we are sitting here at the 1205 bar. I'm not sitting by myself, so I'm not really, get Nolan in here. There we go. So yeah, so there is a we actually. I was looking, it's like a we and going, wait, there's nobody in the picture with me. And it looks like I'm kind of sitting by myself. So we're sitting here at the 1205 tasting room in Westfield, Indiana. It's about 10 minutes from my new house. So I'm pretty excited about that. But enough about me and that. I want to talk with you. So this is an amazing place. And I think you put together a really cool, and it's not really a bar per se. It's a little bit different because of Indiana law, right?
Yeah, I mean, Indiana law is weird. Plus, like being a bar, owning a distillery, it's a lot of gray lines going in there. But
because this is a tasting room.
We say
right?
tasting room. We also say cocktail lounge. But I would say Monday through Thursday until 7 p.m. we're a cocktail lounge. Thursday through Sunday until 11 p.m. we're kind of a bar. It gets a little rowdy in here. We get a lot of people coming in, a lot of live music playing. But our intention here was to kind of help expand our brand and make cocktails with only our spirits and cocktails that people can make at home and enjoy at home. So that was our expansion thought for this location.
And yeah, because you actually have now 3 locations, or soon to be 3 locations, right?
Yep. Yeah. So we have 2 right now. We have our downtown Indianapolis location. We have this location, and then we'll be opening up our big location, which would be 15,000 square foot distillery and tasting room in Lebanon. So just about 10, 12 miles down the road from here.
And I asked the question a while ago, where did 1205 come from? And I'm going to put it out there to you guys. See if anybody can guess where 1205 came from, and see if you guys are on top of this. So if you think you know, put it into the chat, and we'll let you know here in a second. So how long have you had 1205? How long have you?
1205 has been in business for about 7.5 years, almost 8 years. Hey, it was started by my family. We started a brewery, a distillery, and a restaurant.
Oh, hang on one second, because I have somebody who's going to be asking a question. So I am going to. Are you there, Carbon?
Yeah, I'm going to say 1205 is what I'm going to read on this.
You're not going to put it in the chat. You're just going to belt it out. Is that what you're saying?
Oh, I'm not, because I don't have my chat. So
okay.
I know what it is.
All right. Where do you think 1205 comes from?
No, if I read this bottle, I'll know, but I don't want to do that. Somebody else.
He's cheating.
He's cheating because I took him a bottle of the 1205 rum.
Right on. Awesome.
So when I was out there,
that's our old bottle too. Yeah, nice. Save that. It's a collector's item.
All right.
So you can't say it. You can't say it there. So anyway, you were saying it's been around for, you said 8 years?
Yeah. So about 8 years. We started in end of 2013 was when we kind of got our business license. 2014 was when we really started ramping up everything with production. And that was when my family started it. We had a brewery, distillery, and a restaurant going at the same time. And most of our focus went towards the brewery and the restaurant. So my business partner, who's actually the distiller, Brad, who's the genius, the mind behind everything, we put in and we decided to buy the distillery off of my family in April of 2017. So this will be 5 years in April that we owned it. So that's kind of when we say that 1205 started, because that's when we took all of our ideas and we mixed it into one and made it kind of our company instead of just kind of the secondary company behind the brewery or the restaurant. So we'll say 5 years. 5 years ago, we started. We've been producing vodka, gin, and our 3 whiskeys during that time. And then we expanded to our liqueurs, more of our kind of experimental whiskeys. So we went from having 2 products full-time before we purchased it to now having, I think we have like 9 on part-time right now. Then we have like 4 or 5 more specialties that we release every year.
Very nice. I mean, the thing I was amazed at when I moved here were how many craft spirit places there are. And I mean, you guys obviously been able to to thrive in this environment with all the competitors. So that's great. And I understand why, because the spirits are really good.
Mhm.
Why do you think this area, because I mean, Westfield's a town of what, 40,000 people max, something like that.
Yeah, if that now.
And we
yeah.
have 2 distilleries, 2 breweries, and wine bar. There seems to be a lot of craft beer and craft spirits. Why do you think that is? Is it because it's cold as hell outside right now, and that's what people need at this
I
time?
mean, it can't hurt. It's definitely not going to hurt. I think a lot of it is Indianapolis is only so big. And in Indianapolis, we have countless distilleries, countless breweries, wineries, some cideries. And there's just so much you can do in Indianapolis. And so everyone's looking for that next spot outside of Indianapolis. And if you know the area, you know there's Indianapolis, there's Carmel, then there's Westfield, Zionsville, Fishers, Noblesville, all those kind of right past Carmel. Carmel's kind of the main one right after Indianapolis. Carmel's so damn expensive, right? Everything in Carmel is so expensive.
Yes, it is.
So the only way kind of around that is to look at the areas around Carmel and see what you think is going to be the next big one. We picked Westfield as our next big area in central Indiana. And I think we kind of hit a home run with it. When I said we were going to open up in Westfield, I got a lot of weird looks, a lot of people saying that's dumb. And 2 years later, we're killing it in Westfield.
Yeah.
We look for places around big areas. We try to look for like that suburban neighborhood around it and try to grow from there. So like our next location is in Lebanon, and I guarantee you no one watching this has heard of Lebanon, which is
that
good.
would be not Lebanon,
Yeah.
but Lebanon.
Lebanon, Indiana. Yep.
Yeah.
Just about 10 miles west of here.
Not to be confused with Warsaw, Milan. Some people say Milan. Yeah, Indiana seems to borrow a lot of.
We have
international
Brazil,
cities.
we have Denver, we have Peru.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got all of them here. But Lebanon is, it's just, 5 miles north of one of the big cities in central Indiana, Zionsville. So we try to find the area that we think is going to grow next, and we try to move into that. And I think you're going to see a lot more distilleries and breweries doing that. Like we were not the first brewery or distillery to open up here. There was Grand Junction, there was Fields, and now West Fork's opening up down the street. So
Right.
I'm not going to say that, I'm not going to try to claim that we're the first ones to notice Westfield. It was definitely Grand Junction and Fields that beat us to it, but we just try to find those places that we see potential in the future.
So when you guys look to make your spirits, what goes into you deciding we're going to do this type of bourbon or this type of or that type of bourbon or this type of rum? And what goes into your thought process as you're making these?
A lot of it, I would say 99% of it is my distiller, Brad, who's my business partner. He owns this with me. It's his brain. He's a very weird guy. So he's into some weird stuff. Especially when it comes to spirits. We'll say when it comes to spirits, he's into some weird stuff. But he likes to see what distilleries are doing and deviate from that. We don't want to make what everyone's doing, because if you're going to make a London dry gin, you're going to compete with Beefeaters, you're going to compete with Seagram's, you're going to compete with all these big companies. So Brad will look at these markets and see kind of where can we fit in? And that's his masterpiece. He's like, all right, so all these London dry companies have their gin. I'm not going to fight some 80-year-old guy that's been drinking Beefeaters for 40 years. I'm going to try to find that high school kid. Whoa. I'm going to find that mid 20, 30-year-old kid.
Yeah, there you go. Post-college kid.
When he was in high school, stole gin from his parents and hated it.
Yeah,
That's the word I was looking for.
Okay.
Yeah. So they hated the gin they stole from their parents in high school. So they're like, you know what? Screw that. We're going to find another gin. So we try to find that market where it's like, I don't like tasting a pine tree, so I want something else, but I don't like gin. We're going to try to convince you that you do like gin, because not all gin tastes like a pine tree. Most of gin is going to be very, floral, citrusy, botanical, but you just had that bad time with that one gin that ruined your experience.
Right.
So we do that with like gin and vodka. We try to make a very vodka that works with cocktails. Our whiskey, most like our bourbon or ryes, a lot of the ryes you try are going to be that high rye, where it's going to be like 90% rye, 95% rye. We go with a 55% rye. So Brad he explores the market and sees where we can fit in and try to have our have our spot in it. So especially with like rye whiskey, absinthe, we have a lavender absinthe, our rhubarb liqueur. I mean, if you find rhubarb liqueur outside of Iceland, pretty much, like, it's gonna be crazy. We try to find stuff that we're not fighting with other local brands or other big brands. We're trying to kind of slide right underneath them and hit a market that they might not be hitting.
Well, I'm like I said, I'm impressed with the spirits. I had the vodka thrust upon me, much to my protest, and loved it. I thought it was really good. I mean, it's a quality vodka that, yeah, I mean, I could see it in any of these cocktails, quite frankly. So yeah, I can see how you guys are doing things a little bit differently. So speaking a little bit differently, we're sitting here in central Indiana. It's I think it's actually a warm front today. We're in the the 20s or 30s.
Double digits.
I was like, wow.
Last night.
So, and we're sitting here in the middle of February, and you guys do a tiki month.
Yep.
So, and a whole tiki menu. So how did that come about?
That all started, we released our rum. So when we bought the distillery, we weren't very well known by any means. Our tasting room was 125 square feet. So we were looking for something different to do that would get people in. And we had a rum aging in barrels. And we're like, what do people want right now? It's, 5 degrees out. It sucks in Indiana. Like, let's turn the heat up. Let's get mosquitoes in. Let's try to get everything going. Let's try to make like a tiki atmosphere in this place. So we had one day where we released our new rum 5 years ago, and we decided to make some tiki cocktails, just like 2 or 3 tiki cocktails. And we were slammed. We're like, oh, wow, this is actually a good thing to do. So we tried it the next year, and it kept growing and growing and growing. So when we opened up Westfield, this location, we're like, let's try it for an entire month. And so last year was the first time we tried it. I'm not gonna say half-assed it, but we didn't go full on with the decorations and stuff. We definitely didn't this year either, but we just tried to do something where it's cold out. Let's try to bring some summer vibes into a place. And especially in Westfield, there's not really a tiki bar in this area. So we tried to do something a little bit different, and every year it's kind of grown and grown and grown. So last year was kind of seeing if it worked. This year is seeing if last year was a fluke. Which so far has not been a fluke. So then next year we'll one-up it again. So we just kind of saw a spot in central Indiana where, especially in Westfield, where there wasn't like a tiki bar. It was cold, hard to get people to come out. And so we just tried to bring some warm weather inside by making some fruity, citrusy tiki drinks.
Well, and that you did. Big score on the cocktail menu, that's for sure.
Thank you.
So what other kinds of things I haven't been here past February now. So what other kinds of things do you have coming up throughout the year?
Our St. Patty's Day party is huge. We opened up our expansion last year on St. Patty's Day. So we bring in a big band every year with our big St. Patty's Day party. Our summer menu and spring menu should be delicious. And then we have some pretty big releases coming out here soon as far as spirits go. I don't know when we're going to release them, but we have a 6-year-old bourbon and a 6-year-old wheat whiskey coming out here soon.
Oh, nice.
So those will be some big releases. Definitely not ones we're going to make some tiki drinks with or anything, but just some really solid spirits. But yeah, once we hit summer, we will have some bigger bands coming in so we can open up the garage door. But yeah, summer, spring are a lot of fun here. It's going to be pretty big here.
Well, I want to thank you for not having the garage doors open now tonight.
Oh, you're weak. Come on.
I know.
California.
Damn California. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you, man. I definitely appreciate. We've got, I think, all the information for people to follow 1205 in the chat. And let's see. Barometric pressure. Nope. Oh, look at that.
There we go. One of them got it.
Bamboo Ham. You nailed it, dude. That is the date Prohibition was repealed, December 5th,
1933,
aka 1205. So yeah, kind of cool. All right, well, thank you, sir. Definitely appreciate it.
Thank you.
And I'm gonna get on with the show.
Right on.
You've got some guests to attend.
I got some people showing up. Yep.
All right. So yeah, this is a great spot. If you're here in Central Indiana, come on out.
How's it going? Good.
Come on down. If you want, come visit me. Let me know that you're here. I'll be more than happy to join you.
live.